大家平安。
Peace be with everyone.
请大家一起翻开圣经哈，《创世纪》第1章。
Let us turn to the Bible, Genesis chapter 1.
创世纪第1章14节。
Genesis 1 verse 14.
第1章14节。
Genesis chapter 1 verse 14.
神说：“天上要有光体，可以分昼夜，做记号，定节令，日子、岁15节。
15.
并要发光在天空，普照在地上，事就这样成了。16节。
16.
于是神造了2个大光，大的管昼，小的管夜，又造众星，
17.
就把这些光摆列在天空，普照在地上。18节。
18.
管理昼夜，分别明暗，神看着是好的。
19.
有晚上，有早晨，4日。
14 to 19. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and to let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give a light on the earth." And it was so. Then God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmaments of the heavens to give a light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the 4th day.
这是在创世的时候，神在记载，神在第4天的时候就说天上要有光体。
So during the creation, on the 4th day, God said that there be light.
神就造了光体，造了2个大光，太阳、月亮，还有造了众星。
So then God made 2 great lights, and he also made the stars.
那我们从14节就可以看到说神造这些光体有一个很重要的目的。
And we can see that there is a purpose in creating these lights in verse 14.
就是说什么要能够分昼夜，做记号，定节令，日子年岁啊。
And that these lights are for dividing the day from the night, and the signs and seasons, and for days and years.
所以我们从圣经可以知道说，神造光体的目的就是要来什么？要来定日子啊，要有日月这些节令记，做一个记号。这是神造这个光体的目的。
And so we see the purpose of the light is to distinguish between the days and the seasons and the signs.
所以你看啊，神说你说神造了2个大光啊，当然我们知道一个就是太阳，一个就是月亮。
And here records that God made 2 great lights, and we know that they refer to the sun and the moon.
那我们知道，我们今天呢，我们怎么样算日子、算时间？用什么？就是用这2个光啊，是不是？
And today we tell time by looking at these 2 great lights.
所以你看，我们现在有2种历，对不对？历就在算日子嘛，一个是什么？一个叫日历，一个叫月历啊，一个就所谓的阳历啊，然后阴历，用太阳，一个是用月亮。
So that is why we have 2 calendars. One is the lunar calendar, and one is the calendar we follow.
那神借着这样的创造，要让他这个宇宙、这个地球、这个秩序，在时间底下有一个秩序。
And God created these lights so that there is order and there is time.
所以18节说要管理昼夜，分别明暗。你看这个光体照着这样的运行要来管理白天跟晚上，然后要来分别光跟暗。所以这是代表一种这个大自然的秩序啊，借着这个光体。
And in verse 18 it says that the lights are to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. So we see that God created the light so that there may be order.
那因为这样我们也有了这个年日的观念，知道怎么样计算天啊、月啊、年啊，所以怎么样定这些节期就有了一个依据。
And the light is also a reference to establish days, months, and years.
所以我们知道我们这个都是依照光体定这些，那这个有它的意义的。
And therefore, we establish these based on light, and there are purposes for this.
所以我们看传道书3章1节。
Let's turn to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1.
传道书3章1节。
Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1.
说凡事都有定期，天下万物都有定时。
Verse 1, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven.
所以这里你看，什么事情都有一个时候了，有一个季节，都有一个时间。
So here it says that everything, there is a time for it, and there is a season for
然
it.
后这个都有带着意义了，所以他这里说，我们看英文就知道，每一个时间就有它一个目的啊。为什么有那个时间，有那个季节，背后有一个目的。
And here it also says that there is a purpose for everything that happens.
代表说这个时间神借着这个时间来定这些年岁日子节期，后面都有它的意义。
And that this means that God created time, and God has established meaning for each of the
那
times.
我们今天讲这个题目，大家一定知道说，因为我们现在就是这个正月我们中文是说正月，但是在圣经里面它就是第一个月，第一个月的意思。
So we are talking about this because of our topic today, which is the first month.
我们今天晚上想用圣经里面一些记载跟正月，就是跟第一个月有关系的一些记载，我们来做一些互相的勉励。
And tonight we'd like to use some Bible verses that talk about the first month.
我们也借着，因为刚好现在就是一年的开始，也来借着这样来思想，在这个年的这个第一个月，到底有哪些属灵的意义可以学习。
And since it is also the first month of the year, and in January, we also use this time to think about any spiritual meaning behind the first month.
我们来请翻开圣经创世纪第8章。
Let's turn to Genesis chapter 8.
第8章的13节。
Chapter 8, verse 13.
创世纪8章13节。
Chapter 8, verse 13.
这里是记载有关这个挪亚时代的洪水，这个是我们都很熟悉的故事。
Here records the flood during the time of Noah.
我们看13节。
Let's read verse 13.
说到挪亚601岁正月初1日，地上的水都干了。挪亚撤去方舟的盖观看，便见地面上干了。
14.
到了2月27日，地就都干了。
13. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, that the waters were dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and indeed the surface of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dried.
这里就讲到说挪亚洪水之后是在挪亚的第601岁的1月1号第一个月的第一天，说这个地面上还是水已经淹盖地面，毁灭这个地面。但是到这一天的时候，说水就干了。1月1号的时候。
Here records on the 601st year of Noah's life, in the first month and first day, before this, the land was flooded with water, but now the waters were dried up.
但是地还没干啊，这个经过大概在1个多月，说到了2月的27日，说连地都干了。
And at the time, the earth was not dried yet. So in the second month, on the 27th day, earth has dried.
我们再看第11节就知道
Let's also read verse 11.
刚好大概离这个洪水开始下差不多1年了，都1年的时间。11节说，当挪亚600岁2月17日那天，大渊的泉源都裂开了，天上的窗户敞开了，40昼夜降大雨在地上。11节，7章这11节，对不起。
Chapter 7, verse 11.
第7章的11节。
Chapter 7, verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, on that day all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
所以你看，这个神哈、降下洪水的怒气哈、完全的消掉，水退掉，干了，大概差不多整整1年的时间，从挪亚满600岁到他601岁。
So from this, we can see that God's wrath in sending down the flood, it took 1 year for the flood to recede.
那圣经记载说，后来哈、神就吩咐挪亚说：“你可以出方舟了，因为地已经干了，水已经退去了。”
And then God commanded Noah that now you can come out of the ark.
那些动物啊，那些飞禽走兽也都出了方舟了。
And the wild animals were able to come out of the ark.
那挪亚就为神筑了一座坛，在那里献祭了。
And Noah, he built altar to sacrifice to God.
就闻到那个馨香之气，就说啊，不再因为人的缘故来咒诅这个地了，也不再按照我刚刚所行的毁灭各样的火。
And then the Lord smelled the aroma of the sacrifice, and he said, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake, although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth.
第8章22节说，人还这样说：说地还存留的时候，这些架设寒暑冬夏昼夜就永不停息了。
And verse 22 says, While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease.
所以你看，这个神的怒气已经消了，毁灭已经过去了。
So here, the Lord's wrath has resided, and he is no longer angry.
那神说他不会再用洪水来毁灭世界。
And the Lord said he will no longer destroy the world with flood.
地还存留的时候，你看就这个世纪就时间就永不停，昼夜永不停息。
And while the earth remains, day and night shall not cease.
代表神接着他要赐给人的恩典，就好像这个日月一样，永远不会停息的。
So God's blessings for man is just like day and night; it will never cease.
那这个开始的时候，就是在刚好正月挪亚601岁的那一年的1个月的第1天。
So this happened during the first year and first month and the first day of Noah's life.
那我们如果看这个13节那里讲到说这个正月那个第1个月那个月的意思就是所谓的新月了，新月
So in verse 13, here it says it is in the first month, and it is also the first moon.
所以你看这一天呢，就代表一个新的开始。
So this day represents a new beginning.
神的愤怒已经过了的开始，
God's wrath has already passed, and this is a new beginning.
新的时间的开始。
It is the beginning of another time.
神本来圣经说神是爱啊。
The Bible records that God is
我
love.
们从创世纪知道，神的创造就是因为他的爱。
And we can see from the Bible that God created the world because of his love.
所以说，神说他看一切造的都是好的。
And so it says that God saw everything he created as good.
那这一切都是为人而造的，人在一切造好之后，最后就造了人。
And he created everything for man because he created man last.
所以神的创造本来是一种爱，出于爱。
So God's love comes out of love.
有时候我们用那个水会来形容这个爱情，所以有句话说什么“柔情似水”，对不对？就好像水一样很温柔，代表一种爱。
So there's a saying
这个水很温柔。
that the water is very gentle.
但是你看，当神发怒的时候，因为人的罪恶，变成洪水啊。然后说洪水什么猛兽啊，像这个挪亚的大水，把整个世界都毁灭掉了，要愤怒。
But that when that water turns into a flood, it is very violent, and that is the wrath of God.
因为那个时候人都犯罪败坏了。
During that time, man has fallen and were in deep sin.
神造人是照他的形象造的，人不能容许说人成为罪恶。
And because God created man according to his image, and that is why he cannot allow man to be so sinful.
所以神是绝对公义的。
And God is absolutely righteous.
虽然他绝对的公义，他要惩罚，毁灭这个罪恶，但是神又是绝对的慈爱，对不对？我们知道神的属性又是绝对的公义，又是绝对的慈爱。
And even though God is absolute righteousness, He is also absolutely merciful.
甚至他的公义他的慈爱更胜过他的公义。
And His mercifulness is even greater than His righteousness.
你看，我们从旧约怎么过到新约，就是从神的公义来进入神的慈爱啊。旧约彰显了神的公义，但是到了新约，耶稣基督来说，就是彰显神的爱啊。
And from the Old Testament to the New Testament, originally we were in God's righteousness, but in the New Testament, we see the mercifulness of
你
God.
看，这个就是神彰显他自己执行救恩的这样一个程序，先公义，然后后面就是。
And we can see that God first showed His righteousness, but then afterwards He showed His mercy.
所以我们现在已经进入新。
So now we are in the New Testament.
所以在雅各书2章13节那边说怜悯原是向审判夸胜的。
And that is why in James chapter 2 verse 13 it records that mercy triumphs over judgment.
这一句我们很熟雅各书2章13节。到了新约时代，就是怜悯向审判夸，审判就是代表神的刑罚、神的公义。但是借着耶稣基督赦罪的恩典，怜悯我们，却要向这个审判来。所以旧约胜过新约，新约胜过旧约，旧约已经慢慢成为过去。
So judgment represents the righteousness of God, but in the New Testament, mercy will triumph over judgment.
就像我们刚刚读的创世纪第8章这里说，这个时候这一年的正月1月1号，水就干了。再过没有多久，连地都干了，什么都没有了，水都没有了。
And just like what we have read in chapter 8, verse 13, that in the first month, the waters were dried up, and in the second month, the earth was dried.
神完完全全的不再纪念我们。
And God has completely forgotten our sins.
所以对当时的挪亚一家来说，还有那些在方舟里面的那些动物，对他们来说又是什么？一个新的生命的开始啊。
And so for Noah's family and the animals in the ark, it is a new beginning of their life.
他们又可以从方舟里面走出来了，在这个神所创造的这个地面上，在那里生活，在那里走动。
And they were able to walk out of the ark and live a new life in this land that God has prepared for them.
所以正月的时候，其实让我们想起神对我们恩典。
So in the first month, it reminds us of God's grace for every one of us.
当主耶稣在逾越节的时候被抓，要去钉十字架之前，最后的晚餐，他为我们设立的洗脚礼。
And before Jesus was captured in doing the Passover to be crucified, he established the foot washing sacrament.
他拿那个手巾束腰，用水给门徒洗脚。
And he girded himself with a towel, and he washed his disciples' feet.
洗完之后，又把他们的脚都擦干了，没有留下一点水。
And after he has finished washing their feet, he dried them up with a towel.
因为那边约翰福音13章说，因为主耶稣知道说他的时候到了，他就爱他的门徒到底。
Because it said that Jesus knew that his time has come, so he loved his disciples to the
因为
end.
他知道犹大要出卖他了，这些彼得要3次不认他了，门徒全部要逃走了，逃光了。
And he knew that Judas is about to betray him, Peter was about to deny him, and all his disciples were about to scatter
但
away.
是主在这个时候替他们洗脚，而且把他们脚都擦干了，没有留下一点痕迹。
But Jesus here, he established foot washing, washed his disciples' feet, and completely dried up their feet.
脚擦干了，才能够再走在地面上嘛，可以再走出去。
And after their feet were dried up, they were able to once again walk
哎
outside.
就像挪亚时代退去了，地干了，他们就可以出方舟走出来。
And just like how during Noah's time, the earth was dried up and they were able to walk out of the ark.
那这个时候就是在第一年，挪亚601年，那正月1号，月1号开始。
And this happened in the 601st year and the first month of Noah's life.
那在这个1月哈正月还有一个很重要的日子是什么？都知道圣经里面逾越节，对不对？
And we also know that during the first month, there is another festival that is very important, that is the Passover.
我们看出埃及记12章，
Let's turn to Exodus 12.
出埃及记12章的第1节，
Exodus chapter 12, verse 11.
第1节，
Oh, verse 1.
出埃及记12章的第1节。
Exodus chapter 12, verse 1.
耶和华神在埃及地晓谕摩西、亚伦说，第2节，
Verse 2.
你们要以本月为正月，为1年之首。
Verse 1. Now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be your beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
然后接着神就开始吩咐他们说，在这个1月这1月的初10要去一只羊羔，1家1只。
And then the Lord instructed them that in this month you shall take yourself a lamb.
然后怎么样？到了14号的时候，正月14号的时候，在黄昏的时候把这个羊羔宰了。
And on the 14th day of the same month, you shall kill the lamb at twilight.
然后要把这个羊羔的血涂在每一户的门楣、门框上，然后大家要在那个晚上要吃这个羊羔的肉，用火烤着。
And then you shall take the blood and put it on the doorpost, and you shall eat the lamb at night, roasted in fire.
这个就是逾越节的由来啊。
And this is the origin of the
那神
Passover.
还叫他们要吃无酵饼。
And God also instructed them to eat unleavened bread.
我们看18节，
Let's read verse 18.
说从正月14日晚上直到21日晚上，你们要吃无酵饼。
In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at evening.
好，所以你看这个除酵节连在这个逾越节，接着就是所谓的除酵节，连在一起，在1月正月夜发生的，神定的一个节日。
So the Passover comes before the unleavened, the feast of unleavened bread.
对啊，就除酵节，酵饼啊。然后你看这个就是在1月的时候啊，正月的时候，神立的一个节。
And this is a festival, a day that is established by God in the first month.
那我们从圣经看这个就是神第一个为人所设立、为他的百姓所设立的节，就是逾越节。
And this is the first festival that God has instituted for his people.
在1月14号开始，到21号。
That on the 14th day of the first month, it is the Passover until the 21st day, which is the feast of
那我
unleavened
们
bread.
都很熟悉这个故事，对不对？神就是在逾越节那个晚上叫他们离开了埃及，因为在那一天神行了第10个杀所有埃及地王子。那个晚上，愤怒就越过去了啊，但是却击杀了埃及地所有投生的。
And we are also very familiar that on the Passover, it was when God passed over the houses of the Israelites and killed the firstborn of the Egyptians.
我们来看第5章，出埃及记5章的第1节。
Let's turn to Exodus chapter 5, verse 1.
出埃及记5章的第1。
Exodus 5, verse 1.
这时候是神吩咐摩西、亚伦要去对法老告诉法老。
And here it is when Moses and Aaron went to told Pharaoh.
第1节说，
Verse
后来
1.
摩西亚伦去对法老说，耶和华以色列的神这样说，容我的百姓去，在旷野向我守节。
Verse 1. Afterwards, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, Let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness.
这里讲的守节就是指的逾越节了，要在他们旷野的时候要守这。
So the feast here is referring to the Passover feast.
我们再看这个章的第9节，
Let's read chapter 10, verse 9. Chapter 10, verse 9.
摩西说，我们要和我们老的、少的、儿子、女儿同去，且把羊群、牛群一同带去，因为我们务要向耶和华守节。
And Moses said, We will go with our young and our old, and our sons and our daughters, with our flocks and our herds we will go, for we must hold a feast to the Lord.
所以你看，神带领他们出埃及，说叫他们叫旷野来他的节。
And God guided the Israelites out of Egypt and told them to observe the Passover in the wilderness.
那这逾越节是一个宴席啊，像主耶稣在逾越节的宴席上有没有设立圣餐、设立洗脚礼？
And the Passover is a feast, and that is why Jesus instituted foot washing and the Holy Communion during the Passover.
我们知道，到新约时代，圣灵降临之后，门徒都明白，因为才都明白了，原来那个逾越节的羔羊是在预表耶稣基督的救恩。
And after the Holy Spirit came down, the disciples then understood that the Passover lamb was prefiguring Jesus Christ.
我们在领受他的圣餐，就是在吃那个逾越节的羔羊的宴席。
And when we partake of the Holy Communion, we are observing the feast of the
那
Passover.
这个逾越节在正月的时候，
And the Passover is during the first month.
我们明天教会有圣餐礼啊。
And tomorrow, we will be having our Holy Communion.
那这个圣餐礼就是在神国里面的逾越节的肉和主的血，逾越节的宴席。
And in the Holy Communion, it is the spiritual Passover. We eat the flesh and blood of Lord Jesus
那
Christ.
我们在这一年的开始能够来举办圣餐，当然是更是特别的意义。
And to be able to observe the Holy Communion in the first month, it is also very special.
因为神就是借着这个逾越节的设立，怎么样来拯救他的百姓，来脱离埃及法老王，在做奴隶。
Because it is through this day of Passover feast that God saved his people from the grasp of Pharaoh.
我们看民数记33章，
Let's turn to Numbers 33.
民数记33章第3节。
Numbers 33, verse 3.
这里是他们在回顾他们已经走了旷野，在回顾他们怎么离开埃及的时候。
And here it is when they are reviewing how they have walked out of Egypt.
第2节啊，
Verse 2.
说摩西遵着耶和华的吩咐，记载他们所行的路程，路程乃是这样。第3节，
Verse 3.
正月15日，就是逾越节的次日，以色列人从兰塞起行，在一切埃及人眼前仍然无惧的。
Verse 2. Now Moses wrote down the starting points of the journeys at the command of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to their starting points. They departed from Ramesses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the day after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with boldness in the sight of all the Egyptians.
看他们离开的那一天哦，就是正月，在1月。这里说他们是昂然无惧的，很勇敢的离开了埃及。
So here, the Israelites left Egypt on the first month, and here records that they left with boldness.
他们为什么那么勇敢？因为他们看到神的作为啊。
And why were they so bold? It is because they saw the hand of God.
他们开始认识神，所以他们生出勇敢的信心出来。
And then they began to start understanding God.
直到后来，他们经过40年旷野的磨练哈， 他们再一次要进入迦南的时候，啊，也是在这个时候啊，在守逾越节的正月的时候。
And we also know that after 40 years, when they are about to enter into Canaan, it is also on the day of the Passover.
他们在吉甲这个地方再一次守逾越节啊，
And in Gilgal, they once again observed the Passover.
这第一次开始的时候，这个逾越节他们是离开埃及，但是这一次他们守逾越节要进入迦南。
So when they left Egypt, they observed the Passover. And the time when they entered into Canaan, they also observed the Passover.
所以可以说，就是他们信仰的开始，还有他们信仰的目的，在正月的时候，1个月的时候。
And so we can say that the purpose of their faith and also the beginning of their faith are all they all occur on the first month.
所以我们是在正月的时候，我们的信仰的旅程怎么开始的？我们的目的，我们往我们目的走。我们有没有昂然无惧的走在这条路上？就像当时的选民一样。
So on the first month, we must reflect whether we are walking in the purpose of our faith and whether we are able to walk in this journey with boldness, just like the Israelites.
再请翻开出埃及记第10章、第40章。
Let's turn to Exodus chapter 40.
出埃及记第40章第1节。
Exodus 40 verse 1.
出埃及记40章的第1节。
Exodus 40 verse 1.
说耶和华晓谕摩西说，第2节。
Verse 2.
正月初1日，你要立起帐幕。3节。
Verse 3.
把法柜安在里面，用幔子将柜遮掩。
Verse 1. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, On the first day of the first month, you shall set up the tabernacle of the tent of meeting. You shall put in it the ark of the testimony, and partition off the ark with the veil.
这是他们在这个西乃山下已经住了好几个月了。
And here it is when they are living for months under the Mount Sinai.
神吩咐他们颁诫命，吩咐他们怎么样盖会幕。
And God has given them His commandments and told them how to build the tabernacle.
到他们离开埃及之后的第2年，这里神吩咐他们说的正月1号，说叫他们要在正月1号那一天呢，要把这个帐幕要。
And until it is here, the first day, the first month, when they left Egypt, God commanded them to set up the tabernacle.
我们看17节。
Let's read verse 17.
说第2年的正月初1日，帐幕就立起来了。
17, on the first day of the month that the tabernacle was raised up.
所以你看，他们经过1年的这样神的颁布诫命告诉他们怎么样盖会幕。好了，第2年的正月1号，帐幕就盖起，会幕就盖好了，就可以立起来了。
So they went through 1 year where God commanded them how to build the tabernacle. And in the first month of the second year, they were able to raise up the tabernacle.
我们讲过，这个会幕有很重要的意义，今天对我们的信仰来说。
And we have talked about how important the tabernacle is in our faith today.
因为这个地方，神吩咐他们说：“我要在那里与你们见面说话。”
Because God has told them that it is here that I will talk with you face to face.
我要和你们同在，和你们同行，和你们同住。
I will be with you, I will abide with you, and I will live with you.
祭司要在这里成圣的。
And the priest will be sanctified here.
你们要因为这样认识我，耶和华是你们的神，你们是我的子民。
And here you will understand that I am your God and you are my people.
那后来这个会幕就演变成圣殿了。到了王朝的时候，他们就在耶路撒冷就圣殿就取代了这个。
And during the time of the kings, the tabernacle then evolved into the temple.
那我们知道，到了新约时代，我们更清楚，这个基督的身体就是神的殿啊，他的教会。
And in the New Testament, we understand that the temple of God is Jesus, and his body is his temple, and his body is the church,
也就是我们每个弟兄姐妹的身体。
which is the body of every member in the church.
所以这个会幕在我们信仰中是非常重要。
And this tabernacle is very important in our faith.
有一天我们这个身体就要像圣殿一样，把它建造完，在里面发出。
That one day our body is to be prepared for the Lord to come in and dwell.
复活与神同住，直到永远。
And resurrect and live forever with the Lord.
但是我们从这个会幕从这个圣殿的发展的过程，我们可以知道，经过很多的艰难困苦的事情。
And from the process of the tabernacle, we can see that there are many hardships.
要用心去建造，但是也会被攻打，先攻打消灭。
And it is very hard to raise up the tabernacle, and it has to sustain many attacks from the enemy.
即使没有百姓信仰退步，也会把圣殿荒废，甚至让圣殿成为不洁净。
And even if there are no attacks, the weakened faith of the people may also cause the tabernacle to become desolate.
就像我们今天信仰一样，我们生活在这个世界上，我们的身体虽然是神的殿但是我们很容易荒废，又很容易感染不洁，因为这是一个世界受世俗化的影响。
And just like how our body today, when we are not putting emphasis on our faith, it can be our tabernacle become desolate.
在正月的时候，这也是一个很重要，我们要去思考的。我们要再一次洁净圣殿，要再一次复兴圣殿，从圣殿的门重新再打开。
So that is why on the first month, it is important for us to once again sanctify this tabernacle and open up the tabernacle.
西西家王就是在正月的时候，就是在做这个事情啊。
And King Hezekiah, he did this in the first month.
因为在这个时候，他们以色列的信仰已经堕落了，圣殿已经荒废很久，废了。
At the time, the faith of the people has fallen, and the tabernacle has been desolate.
我们请翻开历代志下第29章。
Let's turn to 2 Chronicles chapter 9.
29章。
Chapter 29.
历代志下的29章。
2 Chronicles chapter 29.
第2节。
Verse 2.
历代志下29章的第2节。
2 Chronicles 29 verse 2.
说西西家行耶和华神眼中看为正的事，效法他主大卫一切所行的。第3节。
Verse 3.
元年正月，开了耶和华殿的门，重新修理。
Verse 2. And he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father David had done. In the first year of his reign, in the first month, he opened the doors of the house of the Lord, repaired them.
我们再看17节。
Let's read verse 17.
说从正月初1日洁净起，初8日到了耶和华的殿廊，用8日的功夫洁净耶和华的殿，到正月16日才洁净完了。
17. Now they began to sanctify on the first day of the first month, and on the 8th day of the month they came to the vestibule of the Lord. So they sanctified the house of the Lord in 8 days, and on the 16th day of the first month they finished.
你看西西家王当了王之后，登基之后，他的第1年的第1个月的1月1号，就做的第一件事情，这个事情。
So we see here that when King Hezekiah reigned and started to reign, in the first year of his reign, in the first month, this is what he did.
开了神的殿，重新的修理。
That he opened the doors of the house of the Lord and repaired them.
然后用了大概半个月的时间来洁净了神的殿。
And he used about half a month to sanctify the temple.
我们知道这个时候已经没办法守1月14号的逾越节，但是神规定说第2个月的14号他们可以守，所以其实他在为2月份的逾越节。看下去就知道。
So even though he did not observe Passover on the first month, the 14th day of the first month, he was preparing for it for the second month.
这也是神在律法中有规定的啊。第1个月没有办法守的，第2个月还有。
That even in the law, it said that even if you cannot observe it in the first month, you can observe it in the second month.
所以新年的时候，你看我们 真耶稣教会有这个传统了，对，说我们不跟这个世俗，但是到每年像我们在台湾、中国可能新春的什么有新年特别聚会，对不对？月1啊，为什么要这样？因为这个有圣经的一个背景啊。
So that is why in our church in Taiwan, in China, we have this tradition to hold a special service, a special New Year service every New Year's.
现在有的教会在这个国历的1月1号前几天又在举。
And there are also some churches that have special services on January the 1st.
因为你看这一天就是什么？重新洁净圣殿，要打开圣殿的门，要整修重建圣殿的日子。
Because on this day, it is time for people to reopen the doors of the house of the Lord and repair them.
所以你看我们都有这种风俗啊。到了过年的时候，东方人在过农历一定要什么大扫除，对不对？平常都随随便便打扫，到了过年的时候一定要扫得干净，特别干净，花很多时间精神，一点都不会偷懒的。一年就这么一次嘛，都有这种习俗啊。
So as Asians, we have this practice that in the New Year's we will clean up and tidy up our houses.
所以在每年正月的时候，第1个月的时候，真的也是我们来反省说，我们这个属灵的殿，我们的教会，自己，我们的身体需不需要这样一次的洁净，再一次的整修，打开重建我们的信仰。
So on the first month, on the first day of the first month, we can also reflect whether we need to clean up our temple for the Lord, and whether we need to repair anything.
就像这个西西家王，在他的登基之后的元年的1月，他就
Just like how King Hezekiah, how he cleaned up the temple in the first year of his reign in the first month.
我们再请翻开以斯帖记第3章。
Let's also turn to Esther chapter 3.
以斯帖记的第3章
Esther chapter 3,
7节。
verse 7.
以斯帖记3章7节。
Esther 3, verse 7.
说亚哈随鲁王12年正月，就是尼散月，人在哈曼面前按日月测普尔，就是测签，要定何月何日为吉，就择定了12月，就是亚达月。
Verse 7, in the first month, which is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is, the lot, before Haman to determine the day and the month until it fell on the 12th month, which is the month of Adar.
再看12节。
Let's read verse 12.
正月13日，就招了王的书记来，照着哈曼一切所吩咐的，用各省的文字、各样的方言，奉亚哈随鲁王的名写旨意，传与总督和各省的省长，并各族的首领，就用王的戒指盖印。13节。
Verse 13.
交给异族传到王的各省，吩咐将犹大人无论老少、妇女、孩子，在一日之间，12月，就是亚达月13日，全然剪除，杀戮灭绝，并夺他们的财为掠物。先念到这边。
Verse 12 and 13. Then the king's scribes were called on 13th day of the first month, and a decree was written according to all that Haman commanded, to the king's satraps, to the governors who were over each province, to the officials of all people, to every province according to its script, and to every people in their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus it was written, and sealed with the king's signet ring. And the letters were sent by couriers into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to annihilate all the Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day on the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to plunder the possessions.
以斯帖的故事我们应该都很熟悉哈，因为常常会学习以斯帖记
We are all familiar with the story of Esther.
这是选民被掳到外邦，在这个波斯帝国统治的时候，发生了一件很危险的事情，整个种族要被灭掉。
And this is an event that happened when the Israelites were taken captive to the kingdom of Persia.
我们看这个哈曼，这个恶人哈曼就是他的计谋是在什么时候开始的？就是在正月的时候啊，他在那1月的时候怎么样？就早一天他认为好日子啊，就在1月的时候就抽到12月，先把月份抽出来，他要来实行他的计谋，毁灭这个犹大人。
So Haman, he chose the first month to determine the day and the month to destroy the Israelites, which is on the 12th month.
后来在13号的时候，正月的13号的时候，就王被他骗了王就用他的印，付给他这样命令，下了这个命令，说再怎么样，12月的13号那一天要怎么样，可以把所有犹大人通通灭绝，抢夺他们的财物。这是哈曼的计。
And Haman, he chose the 13th day of the first month to fool the king, to give a command that the people may annihilate the Jews and plunder their possessions.
我就把这个命令就传到全国各省，通知全国。
And this commandment was passed to all the provinces in the kingdom.
你看这一年，如果对犹大人来说，你看听到这个消息之后，这一年多难过啊！那等到12月，整整1年的等待，要被灭绝，这是一个相当令人担心、害怕的事情啊。
So for the Israelites at that time, it must be very anxious for them to wait until the 12th month and wait for them to be destroyed.
在1月的时候决定的，1月的时候。
And this has been decided in the first month.
跟这一年多么重要啊！
And this year is very important.
怎么办呢？故事我们都知道，后来就是以斯帖跟这个末底改他们怎么样来拯救了这个。当然，这一切都在神的计划当中。
And we also know that later on, Esther and Mordecai, they were able to save the Jews from happening. And this is all under the control of God.
你看，当他们听到这个消息的时候，他们并没有就只在那里害怕，或是不做什么事，他们就想办法禁食祷告求神，然后以斯帖冒着生命的危险去见王。
And when they heard about this news, they did not do nothing out of fear, but however, Esther, she even put her life on the line to see the king.
那很有智慧的让王来认识明白这个事情。
And with wisdom, she allowed the king to see what is about to happen.
又很恰巧的都是妙作为，让这个王突然想起说，末底改曾经救过他的命啊。
And also out of God's control, the king was reminded of what Mordecai has done.
所以再来这几章，我们就看到这个很精彩的这个过程，在讲。
So in the following chapters, we can see how these events play out.
你看，这之前神已经安排了以斯帖能够进到皇宫里面。
And we already know that Esther can enter into palace.
好，我们看当他们知道这个消息之后，经过3个月的时间这整个事情就很圆满的旨意彰显。到3月的时候，王又下了另外一道命令，因为他知道这是哈曼的诡计。
And after these things, in 3 months, the king he made another decree.
我们看8章的第9节，
Let's read chapter 8, verse 9.
以斯帖记8章9节
Esther 8, verse 9.
说：3月就是西湾月23日，将王的书记找来，按着末底改所吩咐的，用各省的文字、各方的方言，并犹大人的文字方言写谕旨，传给从印度直到古时127省的犹大人和总督， 首领、省长首领。
Verse 9. So the king's scribes were called at that time in the 3rd month, which is the month of Sivan, on the 23rd day, and it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded to the Jews, the satraps, the governors, and the princes of the provinces from India to Ethiopia, 127 provinces in all, every province in its own script, every people in their own language, and to the Jews in their own script and language.
当王已经知道这是哈曼的诡计之后，你看他又下了这么一道命令，在3月的时候盖印，亲自又盖印，然后通知全国。
When the king realized that this was a scheme of Haman, he made another decree and sent it out to all the provinces.
你看11节，再看11节。
Let's read verse 11 and 12.
说旨谕中王准各省各城的犹大人，在1日之间，12月就是亚达月3日，聚集保护性命，剪除、杀戮、灭绝那要攻击犹大人的一切仇敌，按他们的妻子儿女夺取他们的财掠物。
Verse 11. By these letters the king permitted the Jews who were in every city to gather together and protect their lives, to destroy, kill, and annihilate all the forces of any people or province that would assault them, both little children and women, and to plunder their possessions.
那他们这3个月，他们努力啊，靠着神，禁食祷告，运用他们的智慧，你看，让王都出了这么一道命令，他们可以保护自己，然后可以去什么，去消灭他们的敌人啊，在同一天啊，12月的13日。
So with their wisdom and their prayers, they were able to allow the king to send another decree so that they are able to protect themselves on the day that Haman has decided to kill all the Jews.
但是我们不要忘了，哈曼那个命令还在哦。第一个那个神的那个王的命令还，因为王的命令不能更改的，所以等一下王有2个命，一个就是杀犹太人。 犹大人，那应该犹大人可以去杀他的仇敌啊！这2个命令同时。
And Haman's decree was not removed because the king cannot remove his own decree. So that is why there were 2 decrees. One is to allow people to attack the Jews, and the other to allow the Jews to retaliate.
所以结果怎么样还不知道了，因为还没有到那一天呢，还没有到12月的13号。 那一天，那同样这2个命令就是那一天生效的。
And these 2 decrees will happen on the 12th month, and it has not happened yet.
所以你看，这个时候对犹大人来说还要考验啊，他们要准备啊，他们要坚持他们的信心。
So for the Jews during that time, they must prepare and they must strengthen their faith.
因为还有王哈曼的那个命令在那里啊。
Because there is still the decree by Haman.
所以他们要准备啊，他们还是要很谨慎的。
So they must prepare and they must be vigilant.
到那一天才能够决定，到底是被灭亡呢，是得胜他的仇敌。
Until that day, when they will know whether they can be victorious over their enemies.
所以你看，这一整年对他们来说就是一个信仰，是不是？
So for them, that entire year was a test to their faith.
考验他们怎么样面对他们命运，决定他们命运的那一天。
To test how they will prepare for the day when they meet their end.
所以你看，这整个这样的事情，正月就开始酝酿了。
So everything that happened began from the 1st month.
所以这也是我们在每年的正月的时候，我们要去考的另外一点。
So this is another thing that we must think about in the 1st month.
哎，这个就是很高兴在过年啊，但是不要忘了，也是你这一年考验的开始，会遇到一些危机。到年底才分晓的。我这一年。
That in the 1st month, aside from all our celebrations, we must also realize that this is the beginning of the year where we face trials and tribulations, and this will only be overcome in the 12th month of this year.
正月是希望的开始，是一个新的开始，但是也是一个征战的开始，挑战的开始。
The first month is the beginning of something new, but it is also the beginning of trials and the tests to
我们
come.
看这个世界也是一样哦，危机，很多人说2018年世界会发生什么大战什么大战呢？我们不知道，但是你看是往这个方向在走啊，是不是？
So we see from the news that there are speculations that 2018 will be a year when there will be wars.
那我们在信仰上也是一样啊，我们有属灵的，我们个人、教会、家庭，我们在这一年里面面对很多挑战的。
But it is also the same for our faith. There will be spiritual battles for ourselves, in our families, and within the church.
所以怎么样在过年的时候，我们立下一个心，那样好好来准备面对我们遇到的挑战。
So in the first month, we must prepare for facing these trials and challenges that will come in
这
the
也是
year.
我们在新年里面的另外一个意义。
So this is another purpose when we celebrate the new year.
那我们今天晚上就用这个圣经里面跟正月有关的这些记载，来在这一年的开始做一个互相的勉励，加添我们力量，让我们新的一年都能够准备的充分，能够过得有意义。
So I like to use these encouragements about the first month from the Bible to encourage everyone to prepare for the new year.
我们一起来唱诗
Let us sing hymn
58首。
58.